Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden, or Lady Wisdom Speaks Academy. It's so good to be with you here today. I've got work to do. Look at this deck. It's going to snow also, but I just don't want to take these things off yet. I definitely have to take off the leaves because I don't want the snow to be on the deck on the leaves. So I'm going to clear the deck. That's what it looks like. It is in the middle of November. The middle of November, yes. And today is the 15th, I think, of November. And it is cold outside. And the garden has changed dramatically. Very dramatically and traumatically. Traumatic and dramatically. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a tour of the garden for November, the middle of November. A lot of the leaves have fallen. Everything has died back pretty much. And we've been doing a lot of raking, and I still have a lot of garden cleanup to do. And then also I'm trying to create this little area with composting. So this area here, I'm going to take these leaves and put them in there, cover that up. As you can see here, still I have my carrots growing. This is Swiss chard. The lettuce are in between here. My Swiss chard. And my carrots are still here. Be interesting to dig up one of the carrots and see what's happening. Do that later. And putting it together, I'm trying to cover the roots of my apple tree and my other fruit trees so that they will be ready for the winter. So here's the apple tree. I just covered it with some cardboard. Got a box from Costco and just cut it and covered it. I'm going to mulch it around so that it can stay well covered and protected for the winter. And it's just so much to do. And here's the peach tree. Finally, here's the peach tree. Finally, the leaves have come off of the peach tree. Everything is pretty much done, so I'm gonna have to clean out these beds and prep them for winter. It's going to snow though later on tonight. Now check out my arborvitae. I planted them about 2 years ago. They were small little plants, but now they did a lot of growing this year. They're looking very good here. And here is a plum tree. I've finished putting them. My apple tree here. Those are the hollyhocks. And the other apple tree. And this is the plum tree here. So I definitely have a lot of cleanup to do. I'm going to clear this out, clean this up. Now here is my fig tree. I don't know what to do with this fig tree. I think I'm just going to leave it and let whatever happens to it happen. Let it continue to grow, and then next year, you know, eventually I believe it will be strong enough to withstand the winter and will bear figs. The little fig was still on it, but I knocked it off. Then also we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and the Christmas and all of that. So I just wanted to give you a quick tour of the garden. So here we are in the garden, and back there you can see the vegetable patch. Everything is wilted and down, and there are leaves there. And a lot of the trees in the backyard now have shed their leaves, except for the oak. This mighty oak is usually the very last tree to give up its leaves. Sometimes I have leaves all the way up until January. And this is what the garden looks like here. Surprisingly, the chrysanthemums still have some flowers on them. But we're going to take a closer look, but I just wanted to give you an overall view of the garden. Now we could definitely see the neighbor's yard. In the summertime, because of the trees, it is very secluded. It almost looks like a secret garden here. But because of the trees, because of fall, we're now exposed and you get to see everything. It's good for me too to see how the garden is developing and changing, but it's also good for you to see where I'm at right now in the garden. And this has been such a wonderful season, during the spring and the summer and even the harvesting time. But now we're trying to get the garden ready for winter. And you know what? I think it's going to snow. That's right, snow. We're expecting snow tonight around 9 o'clock. Well, it is snowing. Look at this. It's snowing, people. It's a good thing that it is snowing. It's a good thing that I cleared out part of the garden. I didn't get to everything, but look at that. Snow. Welcome winter. And then it's going to be rain. So I think today's a good day to rake up some of those leaves, get things covered, to do as much work as I possibly can in the garden. But first, I'm going to give you a tour of the garden. So come along with me as we tour the garden. So, okay, this is what it looks like here, and I'm gonna take you around with me, and you can see what the garden looks like. So the chrysanthemums that I planted here, they are just about done. I would say that they're done. There's still some greenery there. And then those are the begonias. But you could tell that it's really cold, that the earth is starting to freeze. My rhododendrons are there. And the leaves on the hydrangea bush that I planted here are shriveling up. Now, here we are underneath the oak tree, my mighty oak, that's what I call it. We have the chrysanthemums here, and as you can see, we have the chrysanthemums here, and as you can see, they are just about done. We have the rhododendrons that will stay green. And here's another one. And the hydrangeas just about done. Then over here, this is where we had the garden bed. So the leaves on this tree here have come down, but I have work to do, obviously, to pull up the dead, dead plants and to cart them away. But I wanted to show you something here. That this is the cabbage that is still living here. And here's another cabbage plant. And the Brussels sprouts. As you can see, I have work to do. I got kind of lazy with the garden cleanup, but it will come. It will come. My husband has been diligent in raking the leaves from the trees, because you see here, this is a maple tree. The leaves came off of that and the other maple. And here are the hydrangeas that were planted back here. And you can see that they are just about done as well. We have the leaves here, and I think I'm going to leave the leaves as mulch for now. There's my rhododendron. And here's the hedge, the hydrangea hedge that we're starting. Here are the little plantings, the seedlings, some of them. That's the rhododendron. Yeah, they're frostbitten, of course. But what I'm hoping to do is to, hopefully we'll leave these leaves here for now, the oak leaves, and then later on in the year we'll clean this up, but use them as mulch to protect the little seedlings of hydrangea plants. But they look good, don't they? I think they came in real well, and I believe that they will come back again. This is what the yard looks like. You can see that you still have a lot of leaves on the mighty oak. A lot of leaves. But I think my husband has done a fantastic job in removing a lot of leaves, the oak leaves, the maple tree leaves from the garden. Last year I didn't clean up this bed at all until later on in the year, like in February or early March, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to leave the leaves on the ground and allow the leaves to protect the plantings. So I have instant mulch with them, and I think that's going to work. Yeah, I'm not going to remove a lot of the leaves from the beds, like from this bed here. I'm going to leave it the way it is, and then in March, early March, when it's warm and I know that spring is on its way, I will then clean out this bed and get things started for spring. It seemed to work before. Last year it worked, and I think that the leaves help the ground, the soil, and helps to protect the different plantings, and it also adds like compost to them. So that's what I'm going to do. Leave it like that. So this is what the side garden looks like right now. Check out my zebra grass. Look at the plumes. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's the most prettiest thing in the garden right now. Look at that, the seed heads. Everything is pretty much ending here. You kind of get to see the garden, the skeleton of it, structures, the shrubs. See what the shrubs look like. Those are the lilac bushes there, the rose bush, some other shrubs there. Then of course we have the hydrangea tree. I planted a lot of tulips here, and just to protect them from cats and squirrels and so forth, I kind of covered them up here. I was looking for mulch. I was supposed to get some mulch and actually use some mulch to cover it as well, but I didn't get to it as yet. Now this is the purple perilla seeds. I just like this. I know I'm going to have a lot of purple perilla all over the garden because those seeds are tiny, and it does become a little invasive, but I'm going to still, I kind of like how this looks, the structure of it. Yeah, I definitely have some more cleaning to do, but this is the winter look so far. I think it's pretty cute. I like it. I mean, when I say cute, it's textural. You know, you can see the different textures. And my rhododendron bush back here. a shrub, is growing really well. I think I'm going to have a lot of blooms on this. I hope so, because that is such a beautiful purple. Now check out the color of the hydrangeas. I'm going to leave them up. But my evergreens here, they get a chance to show up. I'm going to just try and rake off some of these leaves off of them so that we get to see the green. Now, I don't remember the name of this plant, and I know it. I know I should know it, but I don't remember right offhand. But this is evergreen as well, and it will look very pretty throughout the winter, and it gives structure to the garden. When I initially planted this border, I bought, one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7 plants from Home Depot, and they were just small, I think 4-inch pots. They were very small. I think I paid like $5 each, and I planted them in, and this one here has done the best. You can see how big it is and how tall it is, and I think because it's against the wall, that's why it's looking the best. And all of the other shrubs too, I bought at the same time. I put that down first. So that's that here. Well, we can learn a lot of lessons from the garden. Right now, the garden is going through seasons and changes. Yes, first we had spring, which we had all of that fresh greenery. It was just beautiful. Everything was alive and well. And now we are in the transition of the season of sleep, of dieback, right? And the season is over. The season of harvest is over. Heading into the transition, the season of winter, when the garden goes to sleep. And we dream. It gives us rest. And it's the same thing with our lives too, that we're born, we're alive, we're young, we're full of life and vitality. And then we become older, we transition, right? We become older, and then finally we die. That's just the way life is, the cycle of life. It's a cycle. Birth, yes, to death. But, you know, there is always the hope of new birth, of renewal. And we know that we've planted bulbs in the ground, we've planted seedlings, and we have roots in the ground. And eventually, when spring comes, we're going to get back that joy, that life. But in the meantime, we need to rest. So that's what it's telling me. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what it's telling me. And I'm excited about the garden because I've already started to dream, because I've already prepared and planned by putting bulbs in the landscape. And so I'm looking forward to that. And then I've also harvested seeds, and I'm looking forward to planting them and getting that started as well. So I guess this is the time to sleep and to dream and to think and to envision what we want to see for the next year, the next summer, and to enjoy family too, because we're coming into the holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas. Well, and this is my birthday month, and it's been an exciting time, and I've really been exploring and enjoying it. So, it's so good. I'm just happy. It's just a good thing. Well, thank you for watching, and see you next time in Catherine's Garden, where Lady Wisdom speaks. Bye.